this?
It's Mail It In Friday.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app. Your home smart speaker up on TSN 4. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles, McLennan.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Seems like a newsy day, a newsy type day, Hazenthal. Do you want to start with what you're getting into heading downtown? Any news and notes about lineups, etc.?
Well, your boy Bo Bichette is playing second base. He's channeling.
I love it, man.
You like it? You like
Dude,
it?
my first reaction is,
right.
obviously, I'm probably going to be talked into being negative about this, saying this is a stretch. It might kind of screw up the mojo, and maybe he can't do it. But my initial reaction is, you got a guy there who's dying to play, and if he says he can go, why not, man? You're battling Goliath, like. Give it a shot. When you heard it, weren't you kind of excited, or were you negative Nancy? Like, what
no, I'm not negative.
Nancy. No, I can tell by the head shake. I can tell by the head shake.
I'm not negative. Here's a couple things I'll say off the top.
Okay.
I am really looking forward to seeing him come up to the plate for the first time. I think the roof is going to pop off. I think when he comes up, he's batting cleanup tonight. Like, they're throwing him back into the fire.
Yeah, but let me ask you this quickly. If he gets up there and he looks like his leg's broken in 4 different places, are you going to be like, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, I guess that's possible. Yeah. You'd like to believe they flushed all that out, and you'd like to believe he's being honest. Ultimately, he's the one that's got to be honest. He has to be honest with himself, with his teammates, with the medical staff, with everybody to let them know he can do it. But they are throwing him right back in. Like, you're hitting cleanup tonight, and you're playing second base, something he's never done in the major leagues. I'm reluctant to say this because I never generally feel like this, especially about pro athletes and their adults. And I'm sure if Bichette heard this, he'd be mortified because I don't think anyone wants to hear this from anybody. But I'm nervous for the guy. Like, I'm actually nervous for Bichette because he's jumping on a moving train that is the most positive moving train in 32 years. A 32-year build-up locomotive cruising down Bremner on its way to the Rogers Center, ready to pop with the Dodgers in town tonight. And he's playing second base, which, yes, he's a ball player. You throw him in, his instincts will be there, but everything feels a little bit different. You would know this. All you guys would know this. Wow. Anyone that's played sports knows it. Just the view's different, the sight lines are different, the adjustments are different, the throwing angles are different. Well, everything's a little bit different for him tonight.
Also, don't you have to be, for second, I don't want to speak out of turn, but you got to turn that double play. You got to be strong on that base, that leg. You're going to be twisting and throwing a lot.
That's right.
I mean, it is testing it, not even at the plate. I'm talking his defense alone, because short to second to first, like in a double play, like that happens quick, and he's got to be able to turn it.
Especially
I'm sure
Hazy.
He can do it.
You were talking about the defense turning. Like, didn't they turn 3 double plays in the last game they played?
Yes.
Well, actually, it was the last time this guy pitched, Trey Savage. It was the last time Savage pitched, which was Game 6. It was the third, fourth, fifth innings ended on double plays.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. Likely it won't. I mean, every game's different, clearly. But at some point, if he's going to play second base, and this could be an easing in process, but I doubt it because Jimenez has been so good, and short is a more important position. Shortstop is the more important defensive position. But at some point, he's going to have to turn a double play. At some point, he's going to hold a runner. At some point, he's going to have to do something where he's moving the other direction, and he's looking and feeling a little bit, it's going to feel foreign to him. But he's obviously been working on it. Maybe they've been telling him the last couple of weeks, prepare for this. Who knows? We haven't been getting daily updates. But it's a pretty incredible story that Bo Bichette is back in the lineup. And Ross Atkins spoke today, and he spoke as if it wasn't overly complicated. I'm not sure I believe that. But they're believers in Bo. and he basically said when you have a talent like this, you got to play him.
Put him in.
Yes,
you got to play him.
You got to play him. Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Like, I remember at the trade deadline when they acquired Shane Bieber, there was a lot of concern there. Coming off Tommy John, still hadn't pitched yet. Is it the right move? And they made a calculated gamble that they were going to go for the upside, that they were going to swing for the fences. And I think they're doing that with Bichette. That sure, it may not work. Maybe it won't. Maybe a ball will get hit to him and it causes him a big problem. Maybe he can't get second to home. He doesn't get that run that they need. Maybe he can't get first to third and it jams up the base paths. I don't know. Maybe it does.
For it to work,
maybe
Brian,
it goes the other way and it works and it pops, and ultimately they'll deserve a ton of credit if and when that happens.
Well, for it to work, there has to be some level of, and when you talk about acquiring Bieber or putting Bo Bichette in, you got to say to yourself, it's better than what's been happening, but it's been pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't happen, you're going to be like, man, we took the risk and it didn't pay off. But that's your original thought, is that guy's a better ball player and can produce at a better rate than what we've been having. But, man, it's been cooking pretty good, man.
You're right.
That's the other angle to it.
Yep.
But there is we talked about it yesterday, and you probably shouldn't have to, but we do have to point out the fact this is an investment, too. You're trying to sign this guy. You're trying to get, and this guy is a top-tier player. So he deserves all of the, he shouldn't come out of the lineup or stay out of it because he was injured. If he was 100% healthy, he would have been in this lineup, correct?
That's right, 100%.
So he's
absolutely.
stepping right back. The minute he's able to step back in, you put him back in and you work around him. That's the way I feel. But I don't know how long this this layoff will have affected him. If he's going to be super sharp. Like you say, he's jumping on a moving train. This isn't, a game in mid-July here. This is the World Series Game 1 in your own building. So, listen, there's no bigger stage, and I'm excited for him. I do have some nerves for him. And I have, I'm excited for him, but I do have some nerves because I don't want him.
You think the contract's involved, Hayes, with any of this? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'd like to believe not, but it is business. We can talk about it as if, we're all naive and it's just these guys are playing a game and they're out there at the park. It is business. It is relationship building.
What, do you think the agent would send a message saying, well,
I can't imagine.
No.
I can't imagine that would happen. And if so, shame on him. And that's on Bichette. Should tell the guy, shut up. It's the World Series. I don't believe so. But I do, it's natural, I think, that to have that in the back of your mind on both ends. What's Bichette thinking? He's a big part of your team. He's a leader on your team. He's been a huge part of your team for a decade now, or close to it, at least when he was drafted, coming up through the minors. And he's been a massive piece for 5 years. So there's a lot of different elements that go into it. But ultimately, he's an immense talent. He was great this year. He was incredibly clutch. Like, Bichette was incredibly clutch. You put runners in scoring position with Bo at the plate. He was the best in the league at one point during this season. So they're going to need all hands on deck because the Dodgers' offense has not been explosive. The Blue Jays' offense through the playoffs has been much more potent, much more potent. What is killing teams against the Dodgers is their starting pitching is, it's like Maddox into Glavine into Smoltz. That's what it feels like.
Games.
Deep into games. And this, Blake Snell's on the mound tonight. This guy is an absolute machine.
Yeah, I think he expects to go into the 8th inning. He's like, I'm going out there and I'm going into the 8th. So chew on that.
Yeah, you're right.
He's got an attitude
Throwback.
too. He was before the last series. He was like, he had a presser before the Milwaukee series. He's like, I'm not going to give you guys too much, but I see what they do and I just got to figure out something and how I'm going to attack them. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go deep into games.
He does have an attitude.
Called his shot. Called his shot. He's a big boy, and he throws heat, and he's a Cy Young winner. He's nasty stuff, man.
Yeah, you got to figure out how to get to him, though. That's the biggest challenge. And you know what? I'm excited. I wonder, if it's nerves early on, how this will be. That's one thing the Dodgers have advantage of. These guys have been there, done that type of thing. This is all, Springer, Springer's been there, done that too, right? So,
sure has.
But there's not a lot of guys in that roster that, the core of it, that have been there, done that. Like Barger. Think of Barger where he was, calendar year, 6 months ago? Like that type of stuff.
Wasn't even on the radar for anybody.
That's what I mean. Like it's going to be exciting for them. But I'm excited for the Jays. Like we'll see what they've got. I don't know why you're not wearing a bow tie.
I told you. No. Listen, I'm not doing this for the whole World Series. I'm not doing
could
this.
have done it there and then taken it off
No,
and then gone down to the ballpark.
For starters, I thought we established on Monday. I said I would wear it. Did you not say that? I thought I literally said that yesterday. On Monday, you wear it, and we do it.
That's only if there's positive vibes.
Yeah, but
let's be clear.
I'm not wearing a bow tie. It was stupid. I don't know how it came up. Johnny somehow brought it up, and I don't even remember the context of it. The second I said it, I'm like, I'm not walking around the dome with a bow tie. Like, do you know how stupid that would look if I walked in with a bow tie?
I know you think it's
stupid.
stupid.
Not a Ronald McDonald,
but do you think Kenny would horse-eye you and say, that bastard, what does he think he's doing in my territory?
I think there's a part of Ken Hazenthal that thinks this is my thing.
Yes.
And no one else wears bow ties at the World Series.
Dude, I would love it so
Nobody
much
wears
if he
it.
pushed you over like the camera guy and gave you a death stare. I would watch that on rerun a million times over.
You can wear a really elegant one, like a thin bow tie. It doesn't have to be Bosa the
screw
Clown.
It. We're only
Like,
doing it Monday if
polka
it's
dots.
positive vibes only on this show.
It doesn't
That's
have to have polka dots and be giant. It can be a thin, elegant one that you just. I'm wearing a bow tie tonight. Like that's what I thought you were doing.
Hazenthal.
I will wear one on the show when they're in LA and I'm not going down to the park. I am not sitting because the idea of me walking into that press box and
JP Morosi will give you a horse eye and say, "What do you think you're doing, our boy?"
Yes, Morosi would probably pull me aside immediately and say, "This is your first World Series.
Yeah.
What the hell do you think you're doing?"
Yeah.
And then you'd run into, Jeff Passan would be down there, and like everyone would be down there. All our counterparts in Toronto media and Canadian sports media is down there. But the person I would fear the most is I would sit beside Hedge, which is what I do, and I would look over at Hedge with my stupid bow tie because I wouldn't be able to move properly. And I think she'd look at me and say, "Get out. Get out right now. You're not doing these."
And Keegan would be right. Keegan would drag you out, so you're not embarrassing me.
Exactly. And Hedge is the captain. If Hedge told me I'm not allowed to do the hit, I would be out of the hit. So I don't want to put myself in that position. And once you get that dumb bow tie on, I don't know how to get the thing off. I've done bow ties as like a, groomsmen and stuff. You need help. I don't know how to get the thing off. And that would be another fear. What if I have the bow tie on? And I can't get it off.
Kenny's wheeling around the corner, and you're like, "I got to get this thing off," and you're bumbling around. He would kick you right in the junk.
Like a neck
He might.
brace.
He might.
It.
I feel
Speaking of kicking the
he
junk,
might.
guys, for this series, I think the Jays got to do it tonight. They got to kick him right in the pills. They got to make a statement, don't you think?
I think tonight feels like
Mandatory,
a big
dude.
statement. But I will say this. They won the first 2 games against New York. They lost the first 2 games against the Mariners. They have seen it all.
I
They've
know,
done it all.
but
I
don't
don't
you
think
think
you
it's a
can go
different
down. Yeah.
animal?
Yes, clearly it is because of the team we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think you can go down 0-2 against that team. Like, I think what you need to do, worst case scenario, split the first 2. Worst case scenario. And then go there and feel good about yourself and all that. Hey, you know what? Get crazy. Win the first 2 in your own building and see what happens. But my point being is 0-2 would feel a lot different for me. Just World Series, a team that's been there and done it. Now they get 3 opportunities, win 2 of 3 in their own building type of thing. I think they've got to at least split. That's the way I feel.
Yes, I think that is mandatory. Minimum split. Do yourself the favor. Get off to a hot start tonight.
Yeah.
Set the tone. Like you got to get the starters out of the game. It's easier said than done, but these guys are machines from Snell, to Glasnow, to Ohtani, Yamamoto. Like these guys are absolute machines. You got to get to their bullpen. If you do, I believe the Blue Jays offense can pop. And they obviously have a lot of right-handers in the lineup tonight with Snell on the mound. You got Schneider in the lineup. He's hitting second. That's a big part of Bichette coming back too, right? It's Springer into Schneider into Vladdy, into Bichette, into Kirk. Like this guy is just going to face right-handed hitter after right-handed hitter after right-handed hitter. They've got to get on the board. And Savage has got to pitch well. You know, like, because if it does turn into a pitching duel, then your guy's got to, hold serve.
Got to hang, man.
He's got to hang, exactly. If Snell's got his stuff and he's nasty tonight, Savage has got to as well. So it's a chess game. I can't wait to see it start because there's been such buildup, and there's, you're talking Ohtani in town and Betts and Freddie Freeman. And Freeman was, as we know, his parents are from Ontario and they're Canadians. And, he's such a likable guy. He was talking about his dad flying up and them, having dinner last night. And his mom is from just outside of Peterborough, and she passed away over 20 years ago now, I believe. Yeah. But, he's got such a connection to Canada and to the Blue Jays and Southern Ontario. But when Freddie steps in, he's looking to kill these guys tonight. Like Freddie, he may have a Canadian passport and be very fond of Toronto. He's looking to bury the Blue Jays. And when you consider what he did in the World Series last year, you better be prepared for that cat. Like he will be ready to rock. So it's as big as it gets. As big as it gets, man. The LA Dodgers are in town for the World Series.
Freddie Freeman was dialed last year, was he not? Like,
sure was.
Everything he touched went out of the park.
Yes.
Every key hit. You're right. There's so many weapons up front. Like Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts.
Max Muncy's under the radar, and that guy's a machine.
That guy just crushes balls, like, for fun.
Yeah, like they're loaded. They are absolutely loaded.
So keep in mind this. This is the only thing I would say. I feel like we had some of these conversations when the Raptors were playing Golden State, right?
You're right, Noodles. You're right.
I pointed
Even
out
Milwaukee.
But injuries, hurt that series, but the Raptors got it done. But like we had these conversations. It was David versus Goliath. Golden State was, a dynasty or on their way to being that. I can't remember what it was, but it was
the end of it, really.
End of the dynasty.
Yeah,
but they were ridiculous. And that's why you play the games, because on paper things look different. So, go out and play loose. I don't know how Schneider is going to manage this. Like, he seems like a pretty even keel guy. Unless, he's got the furnace face, which I love. He's right there and he's engaged, but he's got to manage this team. Like, you've got to manage the pitching. Savage, I am a bit nervous. This is, his 7th start?
Young guy. Very young guy. World Series, man. The Dodgers have not seen him, just like the Yankees had not, just like the Mariners had not. But, World Series Game 1, Shohei Ohtani will be facing him in about 3 hours and 50 minutes.
Is that what you're looking forward to the most?
Yes.
Ohtani wheeling up to first, to home plate?
Absolutely. Like Ohtani, I love how he claims the Jays hat is still in his garage. Like, there's no chance that's true.
That got picked up by a dumpster 12 hours after it was handed to him.
I think
there is a 0% chance that hat.
Everyone gets a gift where they're like,
Yeah.
I just got to throw that out. I'm not regifting it, and I'm trashing it. That's exactly what that bastard did with that thing.
He left it in the room, like the house cleaning. Wore it home that night.
That's right. In Dunedin. He was at the, whatever it was, the Marriott Dunedin, and that thing was
he had
on
put
the
it on
desk.
his island and then told the cleaning lady, whatever's on the island goes in the trash. I don't care if it's a dog goat or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm not wearing it. I'm not going to act like I'm going to wear it, and I'm not wearing it.
There's something about this guy.
Don't say you left it in the garage, man.
Yeah.
That's insulting.
It's not in your garage.
No.
There's no way there's a Blue Jay hat in Shohei's garage.
Yeah. It's like somebody saying that Christmas gift, that potpourri, that little basket I gave you, where is that? And you say, probably in the garbage. No, it's in the garbage.
Yeah.
It went in the garbage 12 hours after you gave it to me.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Like, he dumped that. He did dump it pretty quick. Yeah. When he flew out, it was not on the plane with him.
No chance.
Put it that way.
No chance. Are you checking that? No, I'm leaving it. Actually, you can have it if you want it.
Yeah.
The guy with the orange thing that closed up the gate on the private jet, he probably said, "Here, take that. You can have it." He did.
Yeah, 100%.
I guarantee. The guy with the orange vest on that closed the thing on the private jet, he said, "Hang on a sec. I got something for you. You got a dog? Take that.
Yeah.
And take the hat, too. What's your size? Okay, don't worry. It'll fit one of your buddies."
I've never wanted an athlete to lose more than Shohei claiming there's a Blue Jay hat in his garage. Like, it's such a disingenuous comment.
It is. Wow. It makes me want to go in his garage.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'll pay big money. Get TMZ in that guy's garage.
Yeah. I'll give you 100 G's if I can walk in your garage and you can show me that Jays hat.
Yeah. And if it's not in there, you got to give me $1 million. You know, you got to give me, or maybe $100,000. Oh man!
So
and if he
funny.
says yes, then you're like, hey, what's this guy up to, man? He kind of likes action. That's Shohei. What's up with this guy?
Probably gave it to his old interpreter. The interpreter's like, I'm going away for a while. Here's a Jays hat. And if you get a dog, one day, you can have the dog coat.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
That guy's wearing it in the clink. Really.
He could be. He could be. I'd love to know the whole swag. And even just to be a fly on the wall when they were like, man, I think he's really, he's taking the stuff. He must really be fond of us. Like he might actually he's going to be a Blue Jay. He's actually going to be a Blue Jay.
Did you remember that? Like we were pretty on top of that. Were we not? Like, wasn't that one of our shows where we were like?
Yes, we were live. It was live reaction.
It would have been terrible though if they found out that Shohei butt dialed Ross, and while he was telling the cleaning lady to get rid of all the Jays gear.
Yeah.
Like it was on speaker in the office and they're all in there and he's like, get all that Jay stuff and just throw it in the trash.
Just get rid of it.
That would have been a heartbreaking way to find out you're not landing.
That would be pretty shocking, you know.
Yeah.
He's just losing it on people. Who brought this back from Dunedin? Who was signed off on that? I told you to leave it in the room. Yeah, well, just that Shohei Ohtani, just smiling, every Canadian, looking them right in the eye and say, yeah, that Blue Jay hat's in my garage.
They better boo his ass, man. They better boo him. No?
I think, why not anyway? Like, why would you cheer for him to begin with? He's an L.A. Dodger. Like, you know, forget, he wasn't coming here. You know, it's one of those things. He goes with the Dodgers. He clearly made the right decision. I mean, obviously. He's about to win his second MVP. They're in their second straight World Series. He's living in Southern California. You know, it's closer to Japan in terms of everything across the board just makes sense.
Well, it's funny. I read something, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, that the Dodgers put out like it was kind of like a financial statement. I think it was, you know, one of those Business Weekly or whatever. They've made $700 million on him alone, like his merch, all of that type of stuff. Like the investment alone. They paid $700 for this guy over, 10, 12 years? They made it in year one. They made it back out of all of the stuff that they brought, like ticket sales, merch boost, all of that type of stuff, which is really unbelievable. Like, what an investment in a player.
Incredible. Like, incredible. And it was deferred money, Noodles. They're paying him over like 30 years.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know, it's $700 on paper that you're right, that they're paying him, but they made $700 and obviously he delivered because they won, so it's not like he delivered it themselves. We talked about Freeman and everybody else, but
they won MVP, the whole nine.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's incredible.
They put $700 in their jeans.
Yeah, pretty good investment, I would say. Yeah. Pretty smart play. And Hedge was down there for the media day yesterday, and she shot a video. She posted on her social media accounts of the lineup of journalists waiting to get up to talk to Ohtani. Really? And it looked like a line at Disney. Like it looked like they were trying to get on Space Mountain. Like
Brian, you're in the media room watching the game. Where the hell are they all going to sit? Is there like a separate area now, or what the hell's going to happen with that?
That is a great question.
This is going to be times 10, isn't it, or times 3 or 4?
Yeah, there could be a dust-up. What if I get down there and there's some guy from, you know, the Tokyo Times in my seat or something?
Chicken wing him out of there.
How are we going to handle that?
Get aggressive.
Yeah,
Japan's Rosenthal with a bow tie.
That's why I'm saying, like, you should wear a bow tie.
And he's a bigwig with an attitude. He will give you the finger and say, beat it.
Yes, he will.
The Japan Rosenthal.
Yeah, the Japanese Rosenthal could be in my seat tonight. So, but it's a great question because it's a totally different beast. Wherever Ohtani goes, they're just simply Japanese media is over here.
Dude, there's all
him.
kinds of media. There's all kinds of big-time sports radio. Right. They were doing their show from the Dome yesterday.
Yeah, Mad Dog's down here.
Yeah, he was in there doing his show.
Yeah, you're right.
Crazy.
It's a great question, man. I don't know. I mean, obviously you got to be prepared for it. And
dude, I would piss my pants if you got some kind of garbage.
They're gonna have me on the roof tonight.
Dude, I'm not laughing, but it might happen.
Yeah, I might be on the roof. There's a chance I get down there and they say, storage room B.
You know the Drake pick on top of the CN Tower? Like, you might have some kind of nonsense seat where you're in a hotel room above, like, in the dome with a plastic chair.
Yeah, right up against the glass.
In a bow tie if I had one. Can you imagine that look? There's a very good chance that
if you would be pissed if you got moved into some garbage area.
Well, I don't know, man, because I remember when the Raptors were in the final, I was down there for all those games. It was 3 home games, 1, 2, and 5. And I was up in the press box. I guess I was up top. Like a lot of the NBA media is down like courtside. I knew I wasn't going to be down there. So I actually had a decent seat now that I think about it. But they had some people stuffed like in crazy areas of Scotiabank because there's so much international and national media. It's a great question. I should text Hedge and I'll text her and ask her if she's got an idea of what's going on. All right, I'll try to get you guys an update.
Get an update
and
for
the
after
bow
the
tie,
break. Just
too.
say, are we like status quo? Are we in the same spots? Or is the Japanese Rosenthal taking my spot?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Am I getting punted by the Japanese Rosenthal?
Rosenthal. All right. What a pick for Hazenbro last night.
Dude,
what a
that's
game.
Such a trash game, man. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Well, the Vikings, like Carson Wentz, he's banged up. He's injured.
That's your instinct on that. 'Cause you were like, I cannot bet on Wentz.
couldn't
Imagine the other dope wanting to take Minnesota.
Yeah, and he was somewhat hot and heavy for the Vikings, but that's where you got to go gut instinct every once in a while, right? Like yes, you can look at the numbers and say this, that, and the other, and win rates, this and that. Sometimes it's simply, do you believe a team is good? Then they're probably going to find a way to win. The Chargers, I don't think there's some disaster of a team. And Herbert was great last night, and they got way better protection than they've had in the past, and credit to the Chargers. So we got that. We've got the Raptors home opener tonight. They're favored at home against the Bucks, and the Leafs are in Buffalo tonight. Tanev and Riley are both out.
Yeah, I know.
So 2 of your top 4 defensemen are out. The lines are completely reshuffled, and they got a home and home with the Sabres. Home with the Sabres. So we'll come back and get into that. Catch up with Luke. Al's brother will join us for more picks this weekend. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Sunday on TSN 1050. Week 8 in the NFL continues with the Giants taking on the Eagles. The Cowboys in tough against the Broncos. And a prime-time battle between the Steelers and Packers. Coverage starts at 1 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here. Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Got a text from our friend Mike Zeisberger, who said they cordon off some areas out in the stands for all the new press. But that was back in '93.
I'm not kidding you. I'm getting some intel sent to me as well that is very concerning about the way this could play out.
Really? You're in a tent out back or what?
I have a very bad feeling that it's going to be...
What if you're in the GAT van out front?
Yeah.
Remember that? There was a GAT van out front.
The GAT van. That is possible that I am parked outside of, gate 1 in the GAT van.
The ice cream truck.
In the ice cream truck. Reporting live from the GAT van.
Yeah,
right
talking
after
to
the game.
just fan reaction type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Open the window.
I don't
talk
know.
to people.
I don't know. We were very, very comfortable. It was, handled very, very well through the Yankee series and the Mariners series.
What are some of the messages you're getting? Is one from Hedge?
Yeah, I sent Hedge a note. She said she hasn't seen it yet, but she said it sounds a bit bleak. So, yeah, I think there could be like an auxiliary press box that's kind of been set up, and I don't know.
Dude, I would be pissed, man. If I was in it for the long haul and you had VIPs and then you're in some dumpster setting, no way.
Well, it's the World Series, man.
Dude, I don't care. You guys
know.
have been trucking along doing your thing, and then you get big league by people that just show up.
Yeah, you're right.
Screw it.
Yeah, you're right.
Think of how bad it'll be in L.A. It'll be worse for the media in L.A.
Well,
the
that's
Toronto
true.
media.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, Hedge will get to L.A. and they'll have her set up where the Angels play.
Yeah.
Like
in
that.
a remote location, like a watch party.
It'll be, yeah, it's exactly at a watch party.
In the Angel Stadium.
Right.
In their press area.
Yeah, a watch party somewhere. Yeah. But anyway, we'll figure that out. We'll get to the bottom of this. It's all good. It's game one. That's all that matters. We look forward to it. We cannot wait for it. All right, Steve Phillips will join us in about an hour. Johnny coming up on Leafs Sabres tonight. We're going to get to the injuries with the Leafs, the line shuffling tonight, a back-to-back with the Sabres. There were some crazy stories coming out of the NHL last night, too.
Yeah.
That we definitely have got to get to. But last night was all about Hazenbro. All right, Luke's not coming on. All right, tech issues. So forget him then. Don't worry about it. We'll catch up with him on Monday. It's all good. We'll make our picks. I'll make our picks. Oh, you might have to step up here for
Luke,
for Timo and Wilson.
Well, you can text him if they're just having problems. He can just text and make the picks. That's
there
it.
You go.
We will text him. We'll text Hazy B, and Joe from the Bridge will put up all the picks. It'll be handled in a different way.
We'll get to our picks. We will establish the picks. FanDuel's got the lines. We're tracking what's going on here. We'll get to that a little bit later on.
One quick thing. Eventually, I bought. If you can see the screen, Hayes, take a look at this. I'm concerned because I ended up picking up about 600 pieces.
Good
these
luck.
Are the two.
You're done.
These are
Dairy
the two.
milk and Hershey's, cookies and cream. They're done.
Yeah, they're done.
Well,
I'm concerned about it.
And my kids love the ones that I love. Like my youngest, I'll walk in on the room. She's dumped stuff out, and she's like dumpster diving for the ones that I like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you think you're doing? Who approved of this action? What do you think you're doing?
Wrestling for it.
Yeah.
So you let your kids dabble in them?
Well, they're all over the house, man. My wife's got them set. We're all dialed in and set up, and they don't have carte blanche. They're not supposed to just go grab them.
Yeah, but you let them.
But you know what it's like. Every once in a while, they're grabbing one, and it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Exactly.
But, yeah, that is dangerous, Noodles. Good luck.
Yeah,
Week
exactly.
tonight is Halloween.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get back to Johnny. We'll get back to our picks and the NFL picks coming up a little bit later on, and Steve Phillips in about an hour. But Morgan Riley and Chris Tanev out tonight. That is concerning when your team has been struggling the way that the Leafs have been struggling. Those are
as much as you're fascinated, Hayes, with Ohtani walking up to home plate to start off the game. I'm fascinated to see what that's going to look like. Because we're not in, like, must-win territory, but we're looking at you better come out and show something a little different. And with those two guys off the back end, it's going to be real interesting.
Here's the – Hayes, you want to read it out? Because I'm looking at McCabe, Carlo, Mermis, Ekman, Larson, Benoit, Myers. Is that the pairs tonight?
That is what I believe is coming out, yeah.
Yeah. So Myers is their 7. He's going to come in. He played. Mermis, am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
Mermis?
Yeah, you got it.
Mermis.
Yep.
But McCabe and Carlo are going to have to – and I think Ekman Larson will have to quarterback the power play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's done that before. He's going to have to turn the clock back. They're certainly weaker on paper. They really are. Because Riley transports the puck and Tanev helps shut the cycle down. He blocks everything. So defensively, Tanev, that's a big blow. Offensively, Morgan is a guy who, transports the puck and quarterbacks the power play. So you're going to have it's next man up, but it's thinner, put it that way.
Yeah, and this is a big opportunity. It's interesting. I'm curious to see how many Leaf fans are down in Buffalo for this one.
A lot.
You think so?
Do you not think how many people
Jays are playing in the World Series tonight.
I don't care. Do you know how many people don't get to go to games in Toronto and they're like, this is the perfect opportunity to watch the Leafs on the road?
I'd be reselling those tickets if I were those guys. I'm not going to Buffalo and missing. I'm watching all games tonight. Like I hear you, it's a cool night, and maybe you planned it in advance, but I'm not convinced it's going to be as crazy as it has been in the past.
I think it'll be flooded more than usual. All Leafs fans.
I think it'll still be flooded, but I agree with Hayes. I don't think it's going to be as flooded. This is the Toronto sports fan loves the Leafs. They love the Jays too, and they're going to be partying or doing whatever they're going to do.
I'll bet you guys $100 each. $200 that you're going to see the crowd when the game starts, and you're going to be like, I can't believe how much blue and white is there.
No, it is.
And by the way, guys, I couldn't believe how Montreal traveled out west. I did not know the Habs traveled like that.
They travel well.
Man.
They travel
Dude,
well.
I didn't know. I know that Leafs traveled out west, but Montreal and Calgary, there was so many Habs fans in both Calgary, and I didn't know they traveled like that out west.
They do. Yeah, they do. Because just like these original 6 teams, especially Canadian ones like the Habs and the Leafs, like they travel and they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Like I remember playing for the Flames, and we'd play Montreal. Like half the stands is Montreal fans. Same thing with Leafs. And then when I played in Florida, everyone from Montreal or Toronto goes down to Florida for vacation, all of that. You'd get half the stands in there too. And they travel well. They're loud. They're all of the above. But I think I didn't love the reffing last night. I thought it was.
The reffing? Oh, man.
Yeah.
So I hadn't seen it. I had to go back because I had people tell me, dude, you got to go see this.
Yeah.
The Slavkovsky boarding call is one of the worst calls in the history of the sport. And Josh Anderson is a respected veteran in the league. Yeah. I don't recall ever seeing someone get called a 2-minute misconduct, like unsportsmanlike, for shooting a puck after it goes in the net, like out of frustration.
Yeah, he shot it.
Did he shoot it into the crowd?
No, he was. What he did is he just shot it down, but he was tapping his stick, going like, "Way to work,
job,
tap
ref.
his stick, good job." And that's what kind of set. That's when the guy teed him up right there. It wasn't
still a little greasy after an awful call. The Slavkovsky call was horrendous.
100%. My point is I thought you could put your big boy pants on and not tee him up there. But the fact that it was a soft call and they tee him up, and then McDavid and Draisaitl just went, all right, we'll score both of these then and put ourselves. Now, they shouldn't have been in that situation. Edmonton was up 3-1 and feeling pretty good, and then Montreal scored 3 goals in 90 seconds at the end of the second period. Like, there was 3 minutes left in the second period, and Edmonton was up 3-1, and Montreal had nothing going on. And then Montreal stormed ahead. But it was soft calls. I get it. But in the end, like, Montreal still, boy, they're an exciting team to watch. They can generate a lot.
They are. They're a fun team. Like, that's a tough back-to-back, right? They were in Calgary the night before and Edmonton last night, and it got away from them because they had that game. And then it was penalty after penalty after penalty.
And that's how the Oil will get cooking. That's how the Oil will turn it around. It's like, get the power play, get on the board, and then they steal one, and then watch out. They'll rip off. They'll rip off a 10-game segment now, but they have some giveaways, and man, they do some weird stuff.
That's the thing. They're still doing that weird stuff. Number 2 there. Holy smokes!
Team Canada scouts watching that, saying, that's an interesting one.
Maybe not.
I think they're watching, but it's just like this. He's obviously had a bad start to the season. I didn't check the score sheet. Did he get a point last night? Because if he didn't get a point last night,
Bouchard, we're talking about, right?
Yes. Sorry, number 2. Yeah,
I know,
Bouchard.
but he's not. If it's not a Leaf, some people are like, who are we talking about here?
Benoit.
Yeah, Simon Benoit. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. But I don't think he's got a point this season. He might. I might have overlooked it, but he's getting looks. But man, oh man, they're doing some weird things out there still.
Yeah.
And but McDavid and Draisaitl starting to look more. RNH he's been their best player. He's been their most consistent player, but
long season.
That was a weird game.
Long season, lots of points, but yeah, Montreal's on a heater, man. They look really good. Like they really, to their credit, they have built off what they did at the end of last season, which is something that's imperative and had to happen. But and then you had the Throwback Whalers in Nordique unis last night.
Oh, what did you think of it? I loved it. I loved watching that on TV, but I don't know if you did you like the Throwback Whaler jersey last night? I don't know if you saw any of it or.
I loved everything about it. I loved the graphics on TV. I loved how both uniforms looked. I like both uniforms better than their current ones. Yeah, like I thought it was awesome. The Whalers one, I mean, I don't think they could do it, but I don't know why that wouldn't be their permanent. Everyone in hockey who has been around hockey for a long time thinks that's one of the greatest uniforms of all time.
Well, unquestionably, both of them are. In my opinion, the original 6 and those 2, those are the 8 greatest uniforms in hockey history. There's nothing that can match it. And I'm usually somewhat against the idea of trying to, pay homage to your history when the team was ripped away from those markets. Like, I don't think people in Quebec City care if Colorado, pays homage to them. I don't.
I know,
think
but
they
what
want
would have
to,
been
or-
so hard? Like I was saying, the Carolina Whalers, like they just could have stayed the Whalers.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Just
that
for the
would've been
merch
great.
alone.
The merch, the Whalers sweaters are so cool.
Yeah.
The colors are amazing. It looks pure. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I love the graphics. Like it literally, the score just said Hartford, Quebec at the top. The bug. It was unbelievable in watching it. And Colorado made a game of it because Carolina was up. What is it? 4-1. It was
They're off
4-0
to a
or
good start.
4-1.
Dude, that Carolina team, they every year, like they have the fair going on in Carolina, so they have to go on this. They have one home game and then they go on 6-game road trip, and they always destroy everyone. Like that road trip, they crush everyone. They dumped one in Vegas, but they are so successful. That Roddy Brindamore racks up regular season wins, man. Like he just racks them up.
Yeah, sure
And they
does.
got injury problems too, big ones.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't matter who plays in net. It doesn't matter. That
No.
Carolina's just always ready, and that's why when you're a team like Toronto or a team like Edmonton, it's frustrating because you've been just as good, and for 10 years you've made the playoffs, and you're always there at the end. But Carolina just never seems to have hiccups. Like it seems, and I'm sure they have, and you'd have to go back and find it. But it seems like they just make their lives very easy, and they just make the playoffs, and they start well, and they're coached well, and they're prepared to play. And it's not the case with the Leafs or with the Oilers in October. Every October, they struggle.
I'll throw you something, though. They probably do, but there's only 2 reporters there.
Well, that's valid, too. And if it's in the middle of the season and you're already so far into the playoffs, you're like, whatever, we lost 6 or 7, it doesn't matter.
That's what it is. It's just not noisy there, but they have their bumps. They have their thing. But coming back to it, when you look at Toronto, you look at Edmonton, some of the other teams that have come out of the gate. Look at Tampa. Tampa lost again last night in regulation. They were
Trouble.
They gave up a goal with a minute left. 1 minute left. Like that's not Tampa hockey. I still think they're a playoff
Not Tampa
team, but
goalie either. That Donato goal that went like he had just inside the blue line, top of the dots, and it went right in the middle of the net. I was like, man, that's not Vasilevsky.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
But that's
Florida lost last night, too.
They did. Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, man. Pitt is not horrible.
I was
Sid
going
looks
to ask
amazing.
you guys about
Sid
that.
looks so good. Like,
So they're 6-2. Where do you go? What do you do with them? Because
The
this is the only
accidental
team-
were good?
No, but listen, you got Sidney Crosby. Gino Malkin's turned back the clock. Carlson looks like he cares. And, you got Rust, Raquel, who have been on the market by all accounts, which you hear from the insiders. You know what the biggest thing is Sheloffs. They get Sheloffs from Vancouver, the goaltender. All of a sudden, it's pressing Jari. Jari looks really good. So now all of a sudden, they've got a tandem of goaltending. And they got a team there that, old or whatever, but there's lots of talent. So I don't know. Like, does Kyle stay the course and trade those 2 guys that are coveted? Like, I'm talking
Yes, he
Raquel
will.
and
Yes, he
or
will.
do you give them one more run at the
Well,
they're,
Sid steps in and says, don't even think about it.
well, they're 6-2. What do you think?
It's exactly. They're 6-2. By my math, that means they have, 74 games left to play?
Yes.
I still don't think they're very good. I still don't think they're making the playoffs. Good for them. Great start. But it's way too early. Too early to make any proclamation one way or the other on what Dubas is going to do come the deadline. So, to their credit, awesome. I was watching the end of that game, and I think they scored I think they ended up winning by 2 because they scored an empty netter. But shaking my head, man. 2-time Cup winner, twice in a row, 3 straight Cup finals. They're down a goal. There's 4 people in the building. And it's so sickening to me that a team like Florida, the Panthers, who have done all that, how do you have half a building full when you've won back-to-back championships? And maybe the argument was, the game was over and we were leaving, and
Dude,
maybe that's possible.
That's Sid in town.
It's Sid. It's October. Your team has been to 3 straight finals, and they've won 2 in a row, and people are like, nah, I'm out of here.
You know what it is? You're right. They see a loss and they're leaving, but also leave early. The other thing is just like wake us up in February, March.
Wake us up when we're going to do something amazing.
Possibly.
We can put on our T-shirt and act like we're a diehard.
Yeah, that's possibly true. Possibly true. All right, Mike Johnson coming up. Steve Phillips on Game 1 of the World Series. OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, up on TSN and TSN 1050.
Tomorrow on TSN 1050, your Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Buffalo Sabres. Coverage starts at 4 p.m.
Matthews scores!
Hear it all on TSN 1050. The Leafs live here. Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Mail It In Friday brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy a $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you'll get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza. Oh, sorry. I've been sent a picture of, I think, what the setup's going to be. I'll post it on my Instagram account tonight. Just get everyone can get a bird's eye view.
So you're telling me you're going to be in a different area?
Yeah, that's my understanding. Yeah, a different area.
Yeah,
but I'll be, suited up and ready to rock. And
dude, I think it's garbage, man. You're Toronto media, and you've been there from the start. And now,
no, he hasn't been there from the start.
Well,
yeah, he has.
Showed up like
I've been there for the playoffs. Yeah, I've been there for the playoffs. You're right. I have not been there when Oakland was in town in May. I was not down there.
Keegan has been there from the start.
I know,
yes, that's
but
right.
Showed up
he's
when
not
it
getting he's not getting punted from some regular that's been there through 162. He's getting punted for the Japanese Rosenthal and other people from L.A.
Yeah, people are calling Kenji Rosenthal has possibly taken my seat. Now, I do think my understanding is the league takes over when we get to this point, right? It's not. I don't think this is the Jays. Like, I don't think Ross Atkins is sitting there saying, "Put this cat somewhere way up there."
Yeah, because that spot is for Kenji Rosenthal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Major League Baseball takes over the operation.
It's
and
like
that's what it was with the Cup final. That's what it was with the NBA finals. When they were here, it was the NBA's front office was running the whole
I
show.
guarantee you the high rent district is all the cool cats in MLB.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. It's the biggest shooters that you can find.
You better take pics of this dumpster fire. Like, send one to our group chat. For this show of where you're sitting.
Well, listen. I'm privileged to be in the building.
I know, but we still got to
be
see
down
it
there
because
and
it's a
looking
kick in
forward
the
to it.
junk regardless.
It'll be a different viewpoint. Yeah. It'll be. We'll see what happens.
Have it ready. We're gonna put it up after the break and have a peek.
Well,
and break it down.
I can't confirm that this is
Dude, who
it
cares?
for sure.
Who cares? We're gonna have a peek and break it down after the break.
All right, coming up in hour 2, we've got Steve Phillips joining us, Mike Johnson joining us. Leafs Buffalo tonight, Game 1 of the World Series. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
It's Mail It In Friday.
The plant called and said if you don't come in tomorrow, don't bother coming in Monday.
Woohoo! 4-day weekend.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line of the final score. Brian Hazy, O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles, McLennan. Game 1 of the World Series tonight. Home opener for the Raptors. It's going to be crazy downtown tonight. Crazy downtown. And the Leafs are in action down in Buffalo. And the Leafs are in action tomorrow at Scotiabank, where the Jays are playing Game 2 tomorrow night.
5 o'clock
Busy
game, though,
weekend.
right?
Yes, busy
weekend.
weekend. Busy weekend.
Yeah.
Busy weekend.
Didn't they change the game to it's 5 o'clock for the Leafs tomorrow?
Yes, they did. Yep, 5 o'clock start, which is a quick turnaround. I mean, not a long commute. Obviously, Buffalo to Toronto, it's the shortest travel you can find. But you play a regular time tonight, and then tomorrow it's a quick turnaround, 5 o'clock start. And Caden Primo, is he going tomorrow? I believe is that the plan? Is Stolar's going tonight? I have not seen who's starting tonight.
Yeah, I didn't check the projected, but I would assume that. Let me look at goaltenders. Yeah, Stolar's is confirmed for tonight, and Alex Lyon for Buffalo.
Okay,
that's what I'm seeing.
So that'll be Primo's second start. Big opportunity for him. Hildeby is sitting in the background. I'm sure waiting for an opportunity. And Joseph Wall, it was announced today, is going to return to the team.
Yeah,
as early as tomorrow. And I
I'm
can't
happy
imagine.
about that because
Good for him.
Yeah, I don't know what's up. It's his own personal deal, but I was scared because I thought something was. I don't know. I just thought there could have been something wrong. So the fact that he came back, I think, is a positive thing, and hopefully he's working things out and he can be, enjoying himself and enjoying playing hockey relatively soon.
Mm-hmm.
When that is, I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, you don't know the behind the scenes factor, but it's as long as he feels like he's in shape and he can hit the ground running. But I don't believe it said. Didn't they say in the press release it's a process to get back? I can't remember the wording, but it was something as to like resume skating and in the step ladder to get back. Mm-hmm. I'm paraphrasing.
It's going to take him a while. He's not playing for a couple weeks.
That's what I mean. Like, you probably get him back. He might have to play a weekend with the Marlies, get some game action into him, all that type of stuff. And then, listen, they've got nothing but resources. The Leafs have, it seems like 75 player development people. I think they've got at least a dozen. So he'll be on one of those pads at MasterCard Center or whatever it's called now, and he'll be work Ford. What is it? Ford Performance Center.
Performance Center. The house that Johnny built, man. Johnny went full Walter Cronkite down there skating around. I think that's where it was.
No bucket, eh?
Absolutely. No bucket, no bow tie. Here's our TSN hockey analyst joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Here's Mike Johnson. What's up, Johnny?
Walter Cronkite. That is a tremendous pull. Well done. And I'm glad you mentioned bow tie because someone did remind me via social media that you promised to wear a bow tie if the Jays made the World Series. So is that happening?
Yeah,
nice Welsh,
I think so. No, I'm not doing it today or tonight. It's, I'm not doing it when I'm down at the game. I did originally say that I was being a hero. But I will do it on the show. I will wear a bow tie on the show. Monday.
Things have to go well this weekend, and he might do it Monday. But if he's miserable, he ain't pulling out the bow tie on Monday. He's not doing it.
I'll do it at some point. But I can't do it on SportsCenter down there. It's not fair to Hedge and Keegan and like all the producers and people that work hard. And Kenny Rosenthal. And Kenji Rosenthal. Everybody you can't do it, man. Can't do it. So, I'm a man of integrity, Johnny. Yeah, man of integrity.
All right. Yeah, your job above all else, but above the shtick. I can appreciate that. Yes.
That's right, exactly. I'm a serious guy. Is this the right or wrong time to have a home and home with Buffalo if you're the Maple Leafs?
I think it's the right time. I think they've had a couple of days off, other than their injuries. Like they all of a sudden, a couple of guys with Nick Tanev and Riley are not playing, and that's not ideal. But I think they're not happy with how it's going. They're trying new line combinations. While Buffalo certainly has played better, they're not Colorado, which would be much more difficult. And a real opportunity to get some momentum. They're going to be in Buffalo tonight. We know that is going to be half to three-quarter Maple Leaf fans. Bring that energy, that sort of fun environment to play in. And they have a chance to go 2 for 2. And with what's going on in this division, if they go Buffalo, Calgary, they might find themselves in first place, which doesn't really matter. But, they'll pick up points and they'll be right there sort of psychologically in the standings where they want. So I think it's a good opportunity. Now, I guess because it's Buffalo, if it goes the other way, it's not ideal. But I look at it optimistically, a chance to really have a great weekend.
Johnny, what do you make of Austin Matthews? And we talked about him without Mitch Marner kind of having to drive the line himself and do a bunch of things. And now he's with William Nylander. What do you think of that happening as almost a necessity because of how little the line was doing and basically how much time the line has been spending in their own zone? So now Nylander's up there. What's going to be happening on the ice when that line leaves the ice?
Well, the first part of it always, it's not ideal that you have your two best players on the same line. You'd like to split them up and have them each help a line on their own. But I do think we talked about the ability to transport the puck, the ability to gain possession in the offensive zone and allow Austin to try to find open spaces to shoot. Willie can do that. Willie's the best on the team at that. And so in that sense, I get why they made that switch. The one thing we never talked about when we put Willie up on that line was taking Matthew Knies off of it. And maybe that second line becomes more of a cycle and possession and just, wear down the other team. They won't be racing up and down the ice, but they'll be a little bit more lean on them in the offensive zone. But yeah, this is the challenge. You have to trust now that Matthews and Nylander will absolutely score every game virtually. And then you hope you just sprinkle in stuff from below them and the power play, and that would be enough. Oh, but yeah, like if Nylander on a line is not helping them score consistently, and Matthews on a line is not helping that line score consistently, a line without either one of them is going to be hard pressed to score consistently.
So just to follow up on that, is McMahon the right guy on that left side? Because, you look at it, the strengths of what each of them do, right? Matthews, Nylander, McMahon, pretty straight line guy, but tremendous speed, right? So is that maybe the thought process there, why you don't have Nyes there, or you wanted Tavares to play with somebody who is stable and would probably be the third or fourth best player, right, in Nyes?
Yeah, I think Nyes is probably there to support Tavares, right? That kind of cycle, big physical puck protection game. And McMahon, you're right. He doesn't make necessarily, fine passes and cutesy plays. He's a straight line guy, but I think he leads the team in hits. And he's one of the leading hitters amongst all forwards in the NHL. So if they do dump the puck in, he's got enough speed to go get it. Like when you watch them play Jersey, whenever that was, a couple games ago, the guys that look best were Nylander and McMahon. And I think that's because they're the two fastest guys, like actual physically at skating up and down the ice. So right. Noodles, I think McMahon will get in there. He'll stir it up. He's fast enough to turn it over and then get out of the way. And he can finish. He can shoot really well and trust that the other guys will make the plays that are necessary to make to get the offensive chances. But probably better than maybe Michelli there, because I think they need a little bit of something, a little bit of a size, a little bit of strength on that line to make it go.
Might have buried the lead, Johnny, with talking about the forward lines mixing it up, but two of their top defensemen are out. How concerned are you about that?
I'm very concerned, because
okay,
like the way they're playing now, they're asking so much from their defensemen. It's one thing if you have the puck in the offensive zone, then I could stand there with the blue line and like be proficient. But if you're going to play in your own end 55 or 60% of the time, which is what they did against Jersey, that's going to put that much more on Philippe Myers and Dakota Mermis and new pairings and no Tanev and O'Reilly. That's going to tax that group big time. So if they play the same way, very concerned. If they play better, if these new lines work, if the opposition has them in the offensive end more, then it, of course, won't be nearly the same problem because they won't be asked to do as much. So I think the forwards absolutely have to help the defense by not forcing the defensemen who defend that much. And if they do that, then they'll be able to handle however long maybe Riley's out and Tanev, hopefully not much longer than that.
With Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst, who has to, if you could pick one guy to have a great night tonight, best game they played all year, who would you pick for the Leafs?
I mean, I can't keep going to the well, but isn't it Austin? I mean, it's got to be Austin Matthews. Like, it has to be. Like, he's been fine. He's been good. He's because he is good, but he hasn't been great, and he hasn't been dominant, and he hasn't been dangerous, consistently dangerous at 5-on-5. Even if he doesn't score, he needs a night where, it's 7 shots and it's good chances in tight, and he's got that pull and drag release, and it's popping around the defenseman and getting to the net. And feeling like, there is that sort of energy and that pace and that offensive juice that has been absent at times this year for him. I think it's him, 100%. And then, I don't know, is Stolarz even playing tonight? I'm assuming he is.
Yeah, I believe he is tonight, yeah.
It'd be a good day for Stolarz to be like, all right, whatever happens, they're not getting more than one, so we're going to win the game regardless. So, their best forward, their goaltender. Both those guys have a great game. I think that would do wonders for the psyche of the team.
Mm-hmm. So, the Habs had that last night. Then the refs got involved. And I've noticed Doogie was pointing this out, that online, because the Habs were not happy after the game. I think Caulfield made comments. I think Marty St. Louis actually made some very pointed comments. And understandably, because some of the calls were terrible. But there's this belief that the Habs, always get hooked up by the refs. So who are they to be complaining? And I always thought that was how people felt about the Maple Leafs, that the Leafs always get hooked up. So who are you to ever complain? Is that your sense? That like the rest of the country looks at the Habs, or the rest of the league looks at the Habs as the team that somehow gets hooked up with calls? Because I've never been. I never understood that. Yeah, I didn't quite get that. I always thought it was the Leafs that had that impression, whether it's true or not. Because the Leafs never actually draw any penalties. It's completely bogus, that narrative. But everything's Toronto, blah blah blah.
I've not heard that about Montreal. But I will say around the league, it is 100% true that the perception is the Leafs do get all the calls, do get all the breaks. The league is favoring them. Oh, the office, the war rooms in the Leafs building. Of course they want the Leafs to win. When you look at the numbers, you just said it, Hayes, it is absolutely untrue. The Leafs are always in the bottom of the league in penalties drawn, even though they've been one of the best teams that have the puck more than anyone else, that create chances more than anyone else, but they get no penalties. So I think that is part and parcel with the anti-Leaf sentiment that some of the country carries when it comes to hockey. But I don't know about the Toronto or about the Montreal side of things. I mean, when I played for Montreal, when I cover Montreal, I don't get that sense. But last night, that was tough. That was really tough because the Slafkovsky penalty they first called, it's a terrible call.
Horrendous. Man.
Okay. Sometimes you miss it. Sometimes you make a mistake. But awful, right? Terrible. But when you recognize that, and they would have seen it on the Jumbotron, they would have realized even in real time. When Edmonton
apparently they
scores
admitted
on
it.
the power play.
Apparently they admitted it.
Right. They said, we missed it. Bad call. Sorry. They said that to Brendan Gallagher. Okay, so they know that. If Edmonton scores on that power play, which they did, Josh Anderson should be able to do everything but club a referee in the head with his stick before he gets an unsportsmanlike penalty. Recognize the situation. There is no words you can say. There is no foul language you can use. There is no expletive you can utter that would warrant an unsportsmanlike in that situation. And generally, the refs get that. Like when they mess up, they take the heat. I hear it. I'm between the benches. They take it when it's warranted, and they get that. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what he said. I don't know what he did. But given what had just happened with Slafkovsky, that was a egregious sequence for Montreal. That was just terrible, and they get the short end of it.
It's sensitivity of the refs too. You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm dating myself, but we all go back to refs where you have nose to nose. It'd be like screaming at each other, and there would be nothing. I don't know. This looked like a gesture.
Jamie, a veteran guy that's been around a long time, just tapping his stick on the ice, and then the ref tees him up. I don't know.
That's what I mean.
I'm sure
saying,
Billy
like, the
Billy McCreary back in the day would have to be so pissed off to give you. He would just skate the other way. Like it's just I don't know. But I've noticed guys just doing the games and seems like there's a lot of new refs in the league, isn't there? Guys like you guys are between the benches. Is there not a lot of? Yeah, isn't there a lot of new faces that are wheeling around out there? Because some of them I don't recognize.
There is. Yeah, Johnny. I mean, you can.
There's a lot of new guys. Guys are retired. Guys get injured. 100% old. There's probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 new guys rolling through the league. And then some of them are up and down. So they do some games in the American League, some games in the NHL. But I would almost think those guys would be less inclined to make such a bold call. Like, you know what? I'll just take it. I'm not going to be. I would expect the veteran guy to say, that's enough. I'm teeing you up or whatever. I'm going to give you the unsportsmanlike. But that was awful sequence. And the Habs to this morning have every right to be upset. That was brutal.
Yep. They had that game, man. They had that game, and they're off to a great start, and everything's, moving in their direction. And, we're talking about Pittsburgh last hour, and they went into Florida and beat Florida again, or beat them last night. They're 6-2. Sid looks great, like you would expect. But Gino looks great.
What do you do though, Johnny?
Johnny?
That was my question for the guys though, Johnny. They're 6-2. They were the only team that seemed to be open for business in the offseason, basically saying, trade for Russ, trade for Raquel, trade for whoever, Carlson, you name it, Jari. We're open for business. Does 6-2 change Kyle's mind, or do you have to wait for them to be another month from now?
The old by accident we're good.
Yeah, right. Right against our best laid plans. I mean, I think they probably wait because obviously the big guys who have trade protection, I think even Raquel and Russ have some trade protection. If you're winning and playing well, then those guys aren't going to be very inclined to want to waive. And certainly the big boys will not want to waive if they're winning and piling up points. So, they got to wait to see if they flatten out, if they come back to earth, like maybe Detroit is coming back down to earth a little bit, like Boston has come back down to earth a little bit after their good start. Things have a way of equaling out, and, teams end up where they are supposed to be. Give them credit. Pittsburgh's playing really well. They're beating the teams. Jari's been really good. Shilovs have been really good. Justin Brazeau looks like Jeff O'Neill out there, sniping left and right. It's wild what they're doing right now. So I don't know if it's all sustainable, but I think if they get off to a good start, 10, 15 games, then it might take 10 or 15 more games for them to level out and then reality to set in, and then maybe those conversations might happen.
All right, Johnny. Game 1 of the World Series tonight. It's a big night. Big night for the Jays. The Leafs are playing. The Raptors are playing. What a night. Enjoy yourself.
Johnny, quickly give us a World Series prediction.
I'm going to go Jays in 7 again. Ooh. And when the games they lose, they're going to lose bad. And the games they win are going to be nail-biters.
Mm-hmm.
That means you don't.
And they're going to lose tonight.
Sorry.
Do you think they lose tonight and still win Game 7?
Yeah, Blake Snell is just too much. Blake Snell is too good.
That means you don't believe what you just said. I'm sorry. If you say they're going to lose tonight,
over here.
and the games they lose, they're going to get crushed, I just don't feel that you really believe that the Jays are going to win the World Series.
What do I'm not a baseball. I don't care if they. I mean, I want them to win, but yeah, no, I think they're going to win.
Right.
Not confidently. Okay. It's a 50-50 toss-up. Listen, if they win, I'll wear a bow tie on the show.
Yes. See, now we got something going. That's a team player right there.
Then he can just welch on
Kenji
it.
Johnson.
I don't feel like doing it.
Kenji Johnson. All right, Kenji. Great catching up with you. Enjoy your weekend. We'll do it again early next week.
Enjoy, guys.
There he is. Kenji Johnson joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Get in and go where adventures take you in a new 2025 Tacoma from Maple Toyota near Canada's Wonderland and the Maple Auto Mall. Visit mapletoyota.com.
You know, I played with a Kenji. When I played in Japan, our defenseman, our number 1 defenseman and our captain was named Kenji Ito.
I love it.
He was awesome. That guy guy could drink and smoke like you'd never seen. He was a champ, man.
That's leadership.
Karaoke, like he was an absolute beauty. Kenji Ito. I love that
Kenji
guy.
Ito, the captain that just loved to have a great time.
Love to have a time. And this guy was like a rock star, man. He was awesome.
It's the best description ever when you say that guy loves to have a good time. Loves to have a good time. Everyone knows exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Exactly. That doesn't mean reading books or puzzles or going to.
That means full blast at karaoke, getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Loves to have a good time.
All right. Awesome.
Well, maybe he's rooting for the Jays tonight. Maybe he feels like Jays in 7 is a reasonable choice. I could see that. Could definitely see that. Listen, Blake Snell has been a machine, but that's why they've got they got to find a way to get him out of the game. You got to be, and what the Jays have done better than anyone this year is they don't strike out much. They go deep into counts. They make you fight. They make you battle, and they have to have that approach tonight. They've got to make them battle.
They chewed up some lefty Yankees pitchers.
Yes,
Fried. They smoked Fried. Yes, Rodon. They smoked them out of the game.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
I've got to correct myself. It's Kengo Ito, not Kenji. I screwed up.
That's disappointing, man. We didn't need to know that.
Ruined the story, man.
Well,
we didn't even need to know.
People are going to Google him and be like, it wasn't Kenji. It was Ken.
Yeah,
he's Kenji to us, man.
For us,
Kengo doesn't.
That was his nickname. That's maybe what I called him. This is probably why people there were like, "What's wrong with this guy?"
Yes.
Probably called him by the wrong name for 5 months.
Well.
Kengo Ito. He was awesome.
Not for us. He's not. Not for us. Millen Friday brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza. I might jump into the Boston Pizza down on front before the game tonight.
Get in there.
Pop in, just take care of business, watch the Leaf game a little bit, the Raptor game a little bit, and then head down to the park. All right, Steve Phillips coming up. Full primer on the World Series. How do the Blue Jays find a way to win this? How do they get after the starting rotation? What does he make of Bichette, not only in the lineup, playing second base and hitting cleanup tonight? That more coming up with Steve. Our best bet still to come. Dear Hazy B, we'll sneak in a few of those. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Tonight on TSN 1050, hear the Toronto Raptors home opener versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
Jumps it down. Take that with you.
Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The Raptors live here. Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like
All right, best bets coming up, and they will be the revealed picks of Owen Wilson and Hazenbro. We had some tech issues last hour, so you guys are on the clock. We've got a few games to pick for Sunday. We'll get to those after a big Hazenbro win last night, +4. Luke claiming technical issues because he's afraid to come on the show.
Doesn't want you to tune him up.
Yeah, he doesn't. Right. Exactly. He doesn't want to face the music. That's, a Milli Vanilli type of move from a Milli Vanilli type of guy.
I think he's just fed up with your partner. That's probably the extent of it.
Possibly that is accurate as well.
Everybody needs a break once in a while. He's probably just had enough.
Very possible.
Yes.
So we'll reveal our picks. We'll get to those for our best bets a little bit later in the hour. Steve Phillips coming up here in a moment. Blake Snell up against Trey Savage, and it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge for the Jays, but the Dodgers, they have this aura to them, and it's so important for the Blue Jays to get past that immediately. And that's a part of the story going into the series is how do you treat this team like they're just 26 guys in baseball uniforms that are immensely talented. You have to respect them. You understand it's going to be a challenge. But if mentally you feel like you can't do it, you've lost before you've even started.
I'll give you the only hockey example I can think of. Back in the day when you were taking on Pittsburgh and they were loaded and their top line was Mario, Jagger, and Ron Francis, and you were like, guys, you have to manage those guys. They're amazing. They're destroying the league. But if they get hot early and we take a bunch of stupid penalties and they start zipping it around, it's going to be a gong show. And when you're first seeing it, you're like, okay, younger guys in the team, and you go out there and you give up a couple early and then you take penalties and you're watching them zip it around and they get 5 or 6 points.
Yeah.
You're really screwed. Early on in the game, if you let them do their thing, like you are at such a disadvantage because you're like, those are the guys that we thought they were. Not to kind of quote Denny Green, but if you want to let them go out there and do their thing, man, it's scary stuff because you're watching it. You've watched them do it to other teams, and then you're witnessing yourself. Scary stuff.
You can respect them, but don't show too much respect. That's the thing. Respect your opponent, but don't feel like, oh, well, they're that guy's better than me, so there's no chance. You got to go at him. Like that's the way I would say. Be aggressive. I'd much rather they go down. It's a saying, go down swinging type of thing than being passive and being walked all over.
Yeah.
They just don't give you a breather, man. Like it's just they're so deep, and then when they get off the field, their monster pitcher gets on the mound, and it's like, okay, now we got to deal with that guy. There's no time to take a breath.
Yeah, and it's not going to be easier in Game 2 or Game 3 or Game 4.
Exactly.
It's just the nature of things. That's the way it goes. And tonight you got Snell on the mound into Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Smith, Teoscar. That's a big side story. Teoscar's coming back to town, right?
Yeah.
Teoscar,
and he's doing damage.
He's mashing. He is mashing right now. Here's Steve Phillips, our TSN baseball insider. How much of this for the Jays, Steve, is a mental grind and the psychology of not building up the Dodgers as this unstoppable force? And if you're John Schneider, how do you get that message across that they're just 26 baseball players in ball uniforms, and they're going to try to play ball just like you're playing ball?
Yeah, I got to tell you, I think that we all feel that. I honestly don't believe the players feel it at all. I mean, I really don't. I think that they feel like, you know what? Why can't we beat this team? I mean, we're as good as anybody, and what they did to the Yankees and what they did to Seattle, where I think you could have made a case that many people thought they'd lose to the Yankees and to the Seattle Mariners. I think they just go out and play. Now, I will say that they'll have a level of confidence, but it's not like they don't hear the chatter, right? The noise that's out there of, how good they are they going to sweep you? It's going to be a short series. Everyone's predictions are Dodgers in 4, Dodgers in 5, and they hear it. But that's why I think Game 1's really important. Now, it's important anyways. Like in the history of 7-game series, the World Series, winners of Game 1 go on to win 63% of the time. However, since in this wild card era, it's the 24 of the last 30 winners of the World Series won Game 1. So it's really important. I think it's important for the Jays just to go out there and show like we know who we are, and we just play the game like we play, and we won. So why can't we win this series? And it's interesting because 4 other times there have been matchups since 1985 in the World Series where one team swept the LCS, the other one went 7 games. And in all 4 cases, the team that went 7 games won the World Series. 2 of them were sweeps, and 2 of them ended in 5 games. They were lopsided in favor of the team that played 7 games. That the layoff hurt that other team, the team that swept. And so we'll see whether, small sample size. We'll see if it impacts this series. But I don't think that, I ended up picking the Dodgers in 6, but I think it's not going to shock me if the Blue Jays win this series at all. And I think, games 1 and 2 are going to be really critical.
If the Jays are going to win, Steve, how, put it in the importance list of Bo working out going into the lineup?
Yeah, so I'm a little surprised that he's playing in the field. I thought that they would force Springer out to the outfield and they would DH Bo. What I've seen from his workouts is that I don't know how he's going to do this.
I agree, man.
Yeah, he's been right. I mean, he's been able to swing, but watching him run, it's never been at a game speed, not even at a full speed. It's been a jog. And the biggest challenge I see with a PCL is deceleration, is the abrupt stop, and where he ranges over to try to feel the ground ball. He's got to plant his leg and throw to first base, and can he do that? You're running on first base, and you're taking off. You think the ball's going to go in the gap. The outfielder runs it down. You got to stop quickly and turn around and go back. Can he do that? And so, but it may be that it's what they have to do to be able to get his bat in the lineup. And there are some who believe that even if it will, diminish them defensively, the plus-minus in hockey terms will be a plus just because you've got Springer and Bichette in the lineup. And yes, you might suffer a little defensively, but it might still be worth it.
How much of an adjustment is it for him to play second base, something he's never done at the major league level?
Well, I think it's a big. I mean, I was an infielder, and it's different. He's never played. He played once, I think, at the minor league level once, and so I think it's a big deal. But because they can't go in barreling on double plays anymore, it's a little bit safer because you're blind turning the double play from second base, but getting the double play was the reason that they won one of the games, Yasavage's game, in the league championship series. He pitched himself into jams, bases loaded twice, and got double play balls, and then got a third double play. I think his third, fourth, and fifth innings. Got 3 straight innings of double plays, and Kiner Falefa can turn it. Clement can turn it. So we'll see. I mean, again, it may be something that it costs them in some area. They just have to hope that it's worth the offense. Kind of the way I look at it, though, is honestly, Kiner Falefa, I think, was 5 for 15 in the last series, and Clement swung the bat well, and Jimenez swung. That they all sort of have been playing like Bo Bichette. You know what I mean? Like, they've played great defense, and they've swung the bats like you would expect Bichette to swing the bat. So, I don't know. I'm a little dubious about him in the field, but, they've seen him work out, and there's got to be some comfort level that they think he can do it. Because, and they must have seen more than what I watched on all of the, the ballpark cam video that I saw that made me really concerned about it.
Were you surprised that Savage got the ball game 1, or did you think it was going to be Gausman?
No, I actually wasn't shocked. I thought there was a chance they might push Gausman, having pitched the relief on Monday this late in the year. And so, it doesn't bother me at all. They're both going to get 2 starts. And I wouldn't be shocked maybe if they win game 1, if they push Gausman to game 3. Joe Torre, when he was manager for the Yankees, said, they were in so many of these series that he always believed game 3 was the most critical game in a 7-game series. And so I think if the Jays win, I wonder if they push Gausman and push him to game 3 and fill in with Bieber or Scherzer in game 2. We'll see. But. And he has intimated that it would probably be Gausman in 2, but I'm okay with that. The split, they're different looking guys, And in some ways, Gausman is so different than Savage that the split fingers aren't the same. They're categorized the same way, but they're two very different pitches. Gausman's drops off the table, and Savage's acts more like a changeup that drifts away from the hitter. And so there won't be any advantage if they're back-to-back for the Dodgers, or disadvantage for the Blue Jays.
Steve, how do you handicap the chances of Vladdy stealing some of the spotlight? And we're not just talking about Ohtani. It's difficult to think that in this platform, the biggest stage in baseball, that Ohtani's just not going to go crazy and everyone's going to say, wow, look at this guy again. Like, you think Vladdy can chisel into that, or what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, really, he's got a 1440 OPS. He had a 1330 OPS in the league championship series, and his postseason numbers went down. I mean, right? I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's because he was been so good. It comes down to winning. If Vladdy's great and the Blue Jays win, even if Ohtani's great, it won't matter. It'll be about Vladdy. It will be about, the $500 million contract. He's living up to that. He's leading this team. He's leading this country. And, guys, the other thing that really has struck me is that, I was there in 2015-16. This team feels the most connected to representing all of Canada of any team that I've experienced. And maybe it's just my lack of experience, but they feel so committed to doing it for the country. They all speak in that language, and they all believe in that. And I think that rallying cry for them is extra motivation for sure.
Well, and Vladdy will have to be at the forefront of it. And, we've been obviously pumping the tires of Blake Snell, which is deserved, but he has not faced a guy like Vladdy yet. There was no one in the previous series he faced that is dialed in, that's a right-handed hitter like Vladdy and the way that he's been playing. And I feel like, we've been kind of building towards that first at-bat. Ohtani will step up first, take on you Savage, boom, first pitch, World Series off and running. But Snell's going to see Vladdy quickly. Like, Vladdy's coming up in that first inning as well. I feel like you can't overemphasize, one at-bat in a long series, but I feel like that's a big platform at-bat. And if you want to send a message quickly to this rotation that is so elite in L.A., I could see Vladdy stepping in and making that statement. And if he does, that allows the whole place to breathe. Like, Vladdy's carried it over. He's still alive. He's still confident. Look out.
Yeah, and I think Springer can too.
Yes.
The one thing, so Snell is the one guy, he throws 53% first pitch fastballs, and none of their other pitchers are even over 40% on the first pitch. The Blue Jays have the highest swing percentage on the first pitch of an at-bat. So if you're going to ambush somebody, Snell's kind of the guy, because you're going to go up looking for a fastball, and typically you can get it from him. But I think the other thing to remember, Snell was awesome. He was so good, right, in his last start. Faced the minimum. Their first two games, they didn't face a single runner in scoring position. Dave Roberts was sitting on the bench instead of on the top step of the dugout to tell you how easy it was. But those guys, that was the best I've seen Snell ever. And we saw Cam Schlittler throw his best game ever against Boston, and he struck out like 13, and then he faced the Blue Jays, struck out 2, and he jumped all over him. We saw Trey Estevez throw 5 1/3 no-hit innings against the Yankees, but his next start wasn't great. The last start is not necessarily an indicator of the next start, and it's all fresh, it's all new, it's a different lineup, different energy, and, this is a team that doesn't strike out. And if Snell thinks he's going to go for strikeouts, this is a team that lays off the breaking ball in the dirt. They'll foul off the changeup and stay alive during an at-bat, and they'll put it in play. And I really would love to see them make Blake Snell field his position. Did he get a couple on? I want to see him field the bunt and turn and throw to first base. I want to do the same when Glasnow's in the game. Let that 6'7" lanky guy get off the mound, have to bend over, field the ball, stand up, make an accurate throw. I think there's some things the Jays can do to be aggressive out of the chute and disrupt the flow. I also think that, for the Jays, they've got to, obviously what they're going to do against the starting pitching for the Dodgers is the most important thing. Secondly, they've got to keep the Dodgers in the ballpark. Don't give up home runs. It's okay if you give up a double. It's okay if they get a single run in an inning. Avoid the crooked numbers. And here's the thing. The Blue Jays hit 20 home runs in the first 11 games of the postseason. The Dodgers hit 13. All right. The Blue Jays, by the way, they hit every single pitch and slug over 500 on every pitch in the postseason this year. So, we say, they're going to throw Yamamoto's going to throw a split. Okay, well, you know what? The Blue Jays in the postseason are out of their minds offensively hitting against off-speed pitches, change-ups, and splits. Snell wants to throw his changeup. Okay, they've hit changeups throughout this entire postseason. And good pitching can neutralize good hitting, but there's good hitting and there's what the Blue Jays do by putting it in play. And so there is a pathway for the Blue Jays to win this series. This is not a slam dunk. I keep hearing people, the Dodgers this. There's absolutely a pathway for the Blue Jays to win this series. Run prevention, critical. Keep it in the ballpark, and you've got to find ways to keep the line moving offensively, which is what they've done this entire postseason.
Yep, they have. They were the top team in the American League, and they have not looked back for the most part, and they've been through the ringer. Like, it was somewhat easy for them against New York. It wasn't against Seattle. They had to show, a lot of, fortitude to pull that off. So I think they're ready for the moment as well. It's obviously, a bit of an uphill battle, but that's why you play the games, and it starts tonight. Cannot wait for it. Enjoy it, Steve. We'll do it again soon. Thank you for this.
Oh, you got it, guys. Can't wait to talk to you next week, see where we are with the series.
You got it. Steve Phillips, our TSN Baseball Insider. Should point out Cito Gaston throwing out the ceremonial first pitch tonight. Joe Carter tomorrow. Great call. Cito into Joe Carter. First two games, you can't beat that. Can't beat it. It's outstanding call.
After that, though, what do you like those guys?
Well, I wonder if Paul Molitor's an option. Like I said, I wonder if
dude, screw it.
Pat
Bring them back out again if they win games 1 and 2. If you need them again, bring them out again.
It's an interesting call. If you get 2 wins with those 2 guys, ceremonial first pitch. Find a way to get them back up. Yeah, that's a good call.
You double down on it? Have we ever seen that?
It is kind of a weird thing, though, because it's so unique to throw out the first pitch where everyone's like, I don't want to see that guy again, no matter who it is. But who knows? Just one of those things. There's such important figures in baseball in Toronto. It's like, where do you go after that?
It's not easy. It's not easy.
No, it isn't.
But you worry about it when you get there. If you're in Game 6, that's a win. It's that deep into the series. You're in it. You're a win or 2 away from winning the World Series. Bring anyone out. It doesn't matter at that point. People are going to be ecstatic down there.
Exactly.
All right, so we've got some Dear Hazy B coming up. Our best bets coming up. And, again, we're going to tee up a crazy weekend here in Toronto. Like, it's all 3 teams playing tonight. And you've got the Leafs and Jays both at home tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. There's probably something going on downtown where the highways are closed. There's got to be, right? DVP will be closed tonight. Something's coming. Yeah, there has to be a marathon downtown or something.
Who knows?
We'll see.
There'll be something that'll piss people off.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
Sunday on TSN 1050. Week 8 in the NFL continues with the Giants taking on the Eagles. The Cowboys in tough against the Broncos. And a prime-time battle between the Steelers and Packers. Coverage starts at 1 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here. Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
People send in a tweet. They write us for our professional advice on life things. Dear Hazy B, every morning my boiler has a gas leak. My wife thinks it's the baby.
Dear Hazy B.
If you want to come to Hazy B, I need honesty from you.
Hazy, you got dumped a lot. Tell him.
Grown adults with birthdays, it's asinine.
All right, Dear Hazy B, brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you'll get it all in 20 minutes or less. So fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza.
This one is like it's under an umbrella of all things that happen with the Jays ending up in the World Series. And you never would have guessed it. You never would have thought it. And you had something that was going on. And you're kind of torn. Dear Hazy B, our good friends invited us to a destination wedding months ago. The wedding night falls on what would be Game 7 of the World Series. Do I watch on my phone? Do I sneak away while the dancing goes on, potentially burn a bridge, or miss the biggest Jays game of my lifetime?
I don't see how you miss the game. I just don't see how you can miss it. It's totally reasonable and understandable that if it's Game 7 of the World Series, your favorite team, you're taking the 3 hours to kind of find a way to watch that game.
I'm telling you, as soon as they say yes, you go up to them and make sure they see your face. Like you look them both in the eye when there's no drinking going on. And when that game starts, you find a sports bar, whatever island you're on. No, they'll never know.
Right, exactly. No one knows. We've all been married. No one knows what anyone else is doing.
Unless you're like really famous or something, no one's going to say, "Oh, where's so and so?"
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, you might have 10 other people with you.
I was just going to say, don't you think that your friends, somebody in that wedding party, people who are attending, are all in the same boat?
Yes,
like
Noodles.
I feel
it
like
happens all the time in the GTA. People that get married on a Saturday night during the winter, they have the Leaf game on at their wedding.
I was just going to say, I feel like, have we not been at a wedding or somebody, I don't know if it was the Grapplers or something, and there was like a big game on?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like we were like tracking it, or it was on, or they put it on in a TV in the corner for people to watch. Like I swear I've been at one recently in the last...
Definitely.
3-4 years.
Definitely.
Am I wrong on that?
No, I remember that too. And it's the issue you have is, you got to hope that the bride and groom are kind of cool with that. The issue is if they're on alert and it's like no one's supposed to be doing this, that's when it gets awkward. When there's like a statement issued like, we're here for us, not for the Blue Jays. And you're like,
and they have some kind of like Congo line and all these different things planned and no one's interested. They'll go nuts.
That is the problem because for them, it's the big night. It's the big event. And exactly that. If they have things planned, we have games planned, and we need everyone at their table. And like half the people aren't even at the table.
Throwing the flowers to no one.
Yeah. No one's there.
Exactly. Like it's the bottom of the ninth and she's about to take the garter off and everybody's in the corner like watching You Savage or whatever, trying to close it out.
Could not care less about what is happening at that wedding. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think you got to bite the bullet. And if they're pissed, they're pissed, but it's the World Series.
It is.
Could be 32 years before you see another one.
Yeah.
So take advantage, right? Take advantage. All right. There you go. I like that because, a lot of people are dealing with it right now. A lot of people. Like this is a weekend in particular. You've got a lot of people going to the game. If you're not going to the game, you're going to try to find a way to track the games. You're tracking the Leafs, the Raptors. You've got other stuff going on.
Just think about how many people booked away something this weekend, and they had no idea, man.
Exactly. Well, I can tell you what the Dear Hazy B is going to be for next Friday because it's Halloween. And I have already had this conversation. Game 6 is Halloween. Game 6, Halloween.
I just want to know what the response you got was.
It wasn't. It was understood, but it was like, well, what are we going to do? Who's going to be at the house? Because the kids want to go, but then you got to have someone at the house.
No, you don't. Honestly, you shut the lights off. Sorry. It's either that or get Billy over there. Get Billy to sit on the front porch. But he's going to want to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Although by the time first pitch hits, 8:08, lights are off by 8 o'clock anyway.
Yeah.
Halloween's like 6 to 8 p.m. Maybe 9. Maybe I'll push 9. Maybe the lights are on. The older kids come and knock. Fine, I'll come back out in between innings. But, for the most part, it's for younger kids. They're done by 8 o'clock, I would think. But, I can tell you the lights off house not being engaged is not an option.
Dude, you live near Dregs. Dregs doesn't care about Halloween at his house. Tell him to come over and sit on your porch.
His kids are older. He's done.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell him to come and sit at your house for 2 hours. He'll do it.
Yeah. Hey, sweetie, guess Dregs is on his way over. I'm going down to the game.
Well, why is it Dregs?
Exactly.
Call Aaron and be like, hey, Dregs is coming over. He's going to sit at the door.
I'm calling in Dregs.
He'll do it.
I'm calling in Dregs. Dregs is coming over.
Why would Dregs
want to do that,
Dude,
too?
His kids don't care. And
I know,
but I think he
older.
meets
They're
his
out.
buddies on Friday night.
He does. I know what his routine is. He's not coming over. And it's not, do you know how awkward that would be? Dregs is just sitting there. Like it's not going to happen. All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. These are the official picks. Hazenbrough versus Owen Wilson. All right, official picks powered by FanDuel. Owen Wilson, you guys are taking the Bears. Ravens coming off a bye. Lamar's playing. Ravens laying 6.5. You guys are actually taking the Bears. Is it up to 7 now? Of course it's up to 7. Magically, Doogie has it. Doogie Patel pushes it up to 7. Shockingly. All right, we're on the Broncos. Let me guess. This is, what, a 7-point spread now? Laying the points, Denver minus 3.5 against the Cowboys. And the nightcap, what a Sunday nighter this is going to be. I love that the World Series is not on. Packers at Steelers. Aaron Rodgers versus his old team. You guys are taking the points. Steelers plus 3 at home. All right? Picks are official. Picks are in. Best of luck to Owen Wilson. Best of luck to Hazenbrough. Best of luck to the Jays, the Raptors, home opener, which is tipping off in half an hour. The Leafs. What a weekend it's going to be. What a weekend it's going to be. Good stuff. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy your weekends. We're back Monday at...
Get Kenji on Monday, 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.